afternoon, everybody. Today is Sunday, November 2nd, 2025. Well, it's almost noon. It's 11:59 exactly. And this is a special report that we are doing on Zofran, also known as Zohran Mamdani, running for New York City mayor. And all odds so far are saying that he is going to win, which, if he does, will be the downfall of New York City as we know it. And as Crazy B will probably add, you sons of bitches will deserve everything that you get.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Absolutely.
so this may be too much too late, but we are going to drop this video for tomorrow, hoping that, even as Crazy B said yesterday, it can change one person's vote. At least we try to make some type of calculated change in somebody's opinion of this. I don't even want to call him a man.
I
He's a,
call him a guy. He's not mature enough to be considered a man.
yeah. Uh, I don't even want to put him in that category right now as a honorable human being per se, with his ideas, socialistic ideas that he has. Um, so we're going to present as much info today as we can, and this video will drop tomorrow at our usual 3 p.m. And then you'll see us live on Tuesday, which will be Election Day. And then Wednesday, we're going to do a follow-up video uh, with regard to who won the race, particularly if it's Zofran. So,
Yeah, you might see us replace some of these parts from the live stream, well, from the recording today, if it's relevant.
yeah, which I think it probably will be. What do you think?
I think most of this is going to be relevant. The
Yeah,
guy absolutely should not be in any position of power.
I think we had names for him like douchebag and,
Dumbass.
yeah, all types of names. Um, I really don't understand how the citizens really are going to pull this off, where they think, this money's going to come from, which we'll explain that as we go on. But the city will be decimated, and I don't know if it will
Mhm.
ever recover.
Well, my generation, the people who were born in the 80s, graduated through the 90s to like 2001 era,
Right?
were the last ones who were taught economics of any kind.
Right. If that.
After us, they didn't really teach it at all.
Right. Just like there's many things they don't teach. Civic.
And I think it was for a reason, so everyone could think free
Uh,
when I even know it's not free.
right.
It's coming from somewhere.
But do you think anybody even asks that question? No.
Well, no,
Right.
most people don't.
Right.
They think there's a magic wand in the government's office,
Mm-hmm.
and the person who wields the wand gets to make things good or bad.
Right.
And
And
that their actions absolutely do not impact it in any way, fashion, or form.
right. Well, we'll also have info regarding how this weekend went with regard to the SNAP benefits. If there was any looting, we'll discuss that on Tuesday evening, as well as if there's breaking news or anything that possibly could happen. It's interesting, we looked at some numbers yesterday on the polling, and Sliwa and Cuomo are just slightly ahead of him. And if either one of them would drop out of the race, one, do you think, Crazy B, if it was Cuomo against him, that Cuomo could beat him?
I still don't know if it's enough of a push to get them past him.
Okay, what about Sliwa? If Cuomo dropped that, do you think the votes would go to Sliwa and
No,
he could
because there
beat
are
him?
some diehard Democrats who can't stand that guy.
Yeah, he's a rough one, man. Even though he is a New Yorker, he's rough. I mean, there's been other New York mayors, but you take a look at a Giuliani and you think he's rough. Sliwa, he's a rough,
Yeah. I
and
know
I'm not.
Bloomberg was considered a Republican but acted like a Democrat.
Yeah, and I'm not sure he has all of the capabilities to be the mayor. I think he has some good ideas, and he probably should have started out perhaps as a local politician in, city government somewhere and worked his way up versus being, you know, in the position he is. And
Well, I
Cuomo,
think he was kind of running with the Trump thing. Look, Trump
right,
was not an active seated politician,
right,
but got elected because people were sick of the seated politicians.
right.
And so that could be part of it. That could be part of where he's coming from, is that, everyone's sick of the elected politicians, that lifelong ones, the ones who went to all these special schools to learn how to screw people over, and then they go into office and stuff like that. Yeah, we're sick of them. And I think that's what he was kind of, hoping enough people were sick of him to get the support.
But he's not. That's the problem. He doesn't.
Yeah.
His numbers don't
Well,
show it.
because
So
the people who
would
were
you if you were
originally supportive of him ended up having to leave the city.
right? So in the position you're in right now, today, if you were sleeve off, would you drop out and give your votes to Cuomo in hopes that he would beat Zofran?
No, I'd stick it out and fuck both of them over with the extra numbers.
Mm. Then to me, that's a shoe in for Zofran.
I get that, but at least it's not Cuomo who fucked us over during COVID.
Right?
And, you know, it's again, it's two horrible choices.
I know.
Two really
Uh,
horrible ones, and a third one that doesn't have enough support because most of the city is registered Democrats. There's not enough Republicans in these cities to balance it out because
but not only that, what
the
about a better
Republicans took
Democrat?
off.
Yeah. Well, what about a better Democrat candidate? Like what the heck would have done
Well,
with
I mean,
Adams
there's
if he was such
AOC,
a
Hakeem Jeffries. I mean, are they any better? Bernie
no?
Sanders any better?
I'm not talking about them as politicians. I'm talking about for the millions of people that live in that city, just like I
Oh,
complained
I'm
about
sure there's a better
Pennsylvania.
one,
Yeah,
but they're not going to be
why
able to
didn't they
hold up to
step
the
up?
demands. But they're not going to be
Yeah.
able to hold up to the demands of being rational in a city that is completely irrational at this point.
Well,
We're basically going to have to let New York fall and rebuild and hope they learn from the history.
I doubt it. The same with our discussions in Portland and Chicago and particularly New York City with the flight of the companies, huge
Yep,
companies that left. How
which will happen under Zoran.
correct? How in God's name would a company want to come back to a situation such as that? The
They're
only way
never
they
going
would
to. They're going to move to
exact
a different area, expand,
yep,
take a small city, turn it into a major city, and New
yes,
York will become a thing of the past. It'll fall to
uh-huh,
ruins, and it will be a dead city. It'll be Rome built over.
yep. Uh, the only way that they might be able to get them back would be through incentives, but that costs big bucks as well.
Uh
And,
huh.
I've seen it where I live, where they, decimated the steel industry, and then, the city tried to give millions to companies, robotics, high tech to move in, and it's just been a nightmare. The taxation on the citizens is great from just a city rate, and then add that onto your state, county, and federal. And as we said, you're looking anywhere's up to, 35, 37% could possibly go to taxes. So we're, New York, we're, we've been saying it now for months. This is our last ditch effort for you. Wake the hell up. Wake up. So, anybody listening to this, if you could spread this, please don't forget to like, follow, comment, share, and subscribe. This is probably one of the most important races that we've seen. I'd almost say close to the presidential election. What do you think, Crazy B?
I agree with that. New York is very much on a precipice of either collapse or not, and it is a very important election. They need to all get out there
I
and
can
vote with
hardly hear you.
sanity.
I can hardly hear you.
Yeah, I lost my earbud case, and my earbud wants to die.
Okay.
Um, so no, they need to get out there. They need to vote. They need to do something to prevent this. Yes, it's nice the idea of free things, but it always comes with a very bad ending.
Hmm.
Always. China bribed their people with free things. North Korea bribed with free things, and look what happened. I
Right.
just, I mean, come on. Everywhere we turn, yes, capitalism is not perfect, but it's also not retarded, and it doesn't end in everyone's healthcare being a lead bullet. So
Hmm.
there's that to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, and, it's important that I think the Republicans still try to hold with the shutdown because if
Yep,
the free pay to illegals in healthcare goes through, then the taxation is just going to continue.
it will
In New
only get
York,
worse.
hmm I talked to somebody that I know up in New York this yesterday,
Uh
and
huh.
you know what their big thing was? Rather than being concerned with the political atmosphere, there was a race that was running, some type of marathon, and they were just happy to be outside in the sunshine with their friends. And I'm thinking, you have no idea what's about to happen. You're clueless and a moron. You're clueless. You're happy to be out in the sun. Well, guess what? When the average now in rent is $4,000 a month in New York City, you have fun
Yeah.
sleeping out in that sunshine on the street. Let's see how you like it
Yep.
then. When you
Well,
can't afford.
do you remember back during the Great Depression, they had those camps up in
Yes.
Central Park?
Yep.
That's what's going to happen again.
Hmm. Yeah, perhaps the tent city that they wanted out there on that. Oh, was that an island or was that a near the water? Remember they wanted to house them up there in New York and put them in those tents, and the citizens had a fit, and so they were taken down. Perhaps they'll be able to resurrect those tents in New York when you lose your apartments and you need a place to stay. Reminds
They're not going to
everybody
have a
of that.
choice because landlords are going to flee, businesses are going to flee, people are going to have no jobs.
And it's
And then who's going to fund all this free shit?
correct. I know. They're going to go to the federal government for a bailout. That's what'll happen.
Okay, the fact that people are freaked out right now about losing food stamps just goes to show that too many people are dependent on the government.
Government, right. Hmm. Well, the majority being illegal aliens
Mm-hmm.
is the majority of that. But regardless, even the numbers of American citizens that are on it, that says a lot. I think and that's probably something we could look at later too, is the relationship to those on food stamps with just how many jobs are out there and with AI and jobs being shipped overseas.
And
It's
remember, all the illegals claiming benefits and working under the table
Yep,
and ripping us off, even
double
double.
dipping.
That's a double rip off.
Yes, ma'am. We did a video, we covered that on Friday. If you didn't see that video, go back and take a look at that. If that is another scam on top of the many scams that we've already discussed, where illegals are working under the table, as Crazy B said, that money is being sent back to their home country. They are then claiming benefits, Social Security, disability, welfare, food stamps, any type of
All
benefit,
of it.
health
Everything and
care.
anything they can claim.
Yes, health care, education, job training, anything and everything that American citizen either does not get or gets at an extremely reduced rate, while they're getting full coverage, including their housing costs taken care of. So it, that's a very disgusting and disturbing video as well. So, but who knows? Maybe one day we'll all, legal and illegal, we'll all get to just meet under the tent and do a kumbaya.
Oh yeah, because the
Uh
United
huh.
States will end up like China and Ukraine, North Korea,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to be stuck living in tents
Oh, maybe that.
and concentration camps.
Hey, maybe that's King Trump's intent for all of his people once he becomes king, right?
Well, except he's trying to get rid of the illegals to balance the system, so it
Uh huh.
doesn't really make much sense there. But
Well,
these idiots out there who keep saying it's him doing it, no, it's not.
right, right. All right.
Oh,
So, how were we going to get started then with us trying to take down Zofran?
all right. Let's start with his Wikipedia page. That's what I think is a good logical place to start. And this is what we get.
Ugh. Now, we'll just skim through this. This will be in the description. Crazy B will have it posted there, as all our links will be. And there were other places to get info, but I think this is a good take and is currently always updated. But Zoran, I guess you say it, Kwame Mondami, was born October 18th of 1991, an American politician who has served since 2021 as a member of the New York State Assembly from the 36th District, representing the Queens neighborhood of Astoria, a member of the Democratic Party and the Democratic Socialists of America. He is the Democrat nominee for mayor of New York City in the 2025 election. Now, there were some reports, I believe we covered in videos, Crazy B, correct me if I'm wrong, where his status in the New York State Assembly, it was over 86% of the time he didn't vote.
Yeah, he missed a lot.
Yeah, and we don't know what he was doing. So you're
Collecting a paycheck and
you're
doing very little work for it.
correct. So the man that you guys have voted in office for your New York State Assembly did jack shit for you the whole time he was there.
And yet somehow we're all going to vote him in as a mayor. And what's funny though is even Cuomo pointed this out. All this petition for free busing and stuff, he had how many years to create a law and put it on the table there? Not once did he do it.
Mandami was born in Uganda to academic Mahmoud Mandami and filmmaker Mira Nair. The family immigrated to South Africa when he was 5 years old and then to the United States when he was seven, settling in New York City. Zofran graduated from the Bronx High School of Science and earned a bachelor's degree in African Studies from Bowdoin College. Click on there, Crazy Bee. Where's that at?
Bowdoin College,
Yeah, where's that located?
a private liberal arts college in Brunswick, Maine, United States. It was
Mm,
chartered in 1794.
wow, that's interesting.
That's a very old college, but I guarantee it didn't start off as a liberal arts
I
college.
don't think it did either. Okay.
But we
After,
can go
yeah,
from there.
after working as a housing counselor and hip hop musician, he entered local politics as a campaign manager for, yeah, two people.
Cater
Yeah, you were just going to skip
or
that. So, yeah,
Kadir.
Ross Barkan. Mandami was first elected to the New York State Assembly in 2020, defeating five-term incumbent Arvela Samotes in the Democratic primary. He was reelected without opposition in 2022 and 2024. There, that
Hmm.
says a lot right there that nobody even ran against him.
Yeah,
It was just like an incumbent. I mean, just he's
he,
in.
he 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 was grandfathered in
Uh huh.
and has never had to actually earn anything that he's got.
Correct. Just like AOC. In October of 2024, Mandami announced his candidacy for mayor of New York City in the 2025 election. He won the primary in an upset victory over Andrew Cuomo. His campaign platform includes support for fare free city buses, public child care, city owned grocery store, LGBTQ rights, and a rent freeze on rent stabilized units, additional affordable housing units, comprehensive public safety reform, and a $30 minimum wage by 2030. Zofran also supports tax increases on corporations and those earning above $1 million annually.
He is going to run everybody out of that city.
Hmm. We're a $30 minimum wage.
No
Wow.
one, you know how much your Big Macs are going to cost
I mean,
at $30 minimum wage?
costs are relevant. As your wages increase, so do the cost of goods and services. Just because you make $30 an hour doesn't mean that Big Mac is going to stay $10 an hour.
It's not. It's going to go up to 15 to probably 20.
Yes,
$20
for a
for a
Big
Big
Mac.
Mac.
Yeah,
Just a sandwich. Forget the fries
right.
and the drink.
Hmm.
Wow. Do they
Yeah,
not understand how that works?
no, obviously not, because
Okay.
it's not being taught in the schools. You can read about his early life. Well, let me just skim over some of that for a little bit, Crazy B. So he is of Indian descent. His mother's a Hindu. His father is Muslim, and they grew up primarily in Uganda. His paternal grandparents were born in present day Tanzania.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was really curious where he got his middle name from as you were reading. And it's a politician, a political theorist, and revolutionary. He served as prime minister from 52 until 57 in the Gold Coast when it gained independence from Britain. He was then the first prime minister and then president of Ghana from 57 to 66. Okay.
You,
Sorry.
I don't, that's okay. Why don't you go ahead and read, and then you can click on, because I've seen this, so you can click on what interests you.
Well, it was mostly just that where he got the nickname from because sometimes people name him after the socialist revolutionists that end up destroying their country. Um, so it just kind of fascinated me for a second, and I didn't realize it was going to block your reading.
That's okay. I mean, go ahead. You can skim through it. I saw it already. Go ahead.
Yeah, they've lived in Cape Town and then West Cape Town. I mean, this just says he's been all over the world and really not learned much despite being all over the world. Um, he has He said the experience motivated him to run for office to address the housing and affordability crisis. I think he's full of shit. Um, I really think he is. I mean, he's had the best of everything presented to him. I mean, look at these schools. Look at, like, his parents obviously had money.
Right.
Your everyday person doesn't get to go to these colleges and schools like this.
Nor travel back and forth out of the country.
Yeah, uh, none of this makes him relatable to the people he's trying to represent. As I'm looking over this, not one thing in his history has said he has ever struggled. For his parents never had a housing crisis.
No, but he worked as a counselor, and that's how he got started in it.
He's full of shit. He, his ideas are all fucking backwards, ass backwards, and then some. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing in his biography. And you know, it's always the upper
And
class rich people who have the bleeding hearts for the people who are suffering, but don't fully understand why those people are in the predicament they're in.
then it says here, he assisted lower income non white homeowners in Queens with eviction notices and efforts to remain in their home. Why didn't he help,
Pay your bills or get out.
or why didn't he also help the lower income white people that lived in Queens? Why?
Because white people have it easy.
Yeah, so that proves right off the back he is racist.
On top of everything else, he's discriminative.
That's correct.
And yet, if a racist white person were to get elected, oh, hell would break loose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, honestly, you want to talk about struggling? My kid's trying to find a job in this town is not going well. They have applied everywhere. We every few months they do the cycle, go through and apply to everywhere within walking distance. Nothing's no one's hiring them. It's like they say they're hiring, but they're really not. It falsely inflates the local economy thing.
Yeah, saying that there's jobs available when there's not.
There is absolutely not jobs available. Exactly. It's it's getting annoying. And I can imagine that the cities are even worse. Because then you got hundreds of people applying for jobs that they can't even afford to take on a new person.
Well, perhaps they're also hiring illegals. We don't know.
Not in my area.
Okay.
Trust, the only places that would do that are the factories.
Mm-hmm.
And my kids are not applying for factory work at this point.
Right.
And the farmers. And my kids don't want to be farm hands, even though I think it would be a great experience.
Right.
But yeah, it is hard to find a job. Being white does not mean you're going to get a job right away just because you put in an application.
Well, let's see.
Actually, it's harder now than when I was their age.
Well, I think it was very hard when I was younger and was discriminated against for being white, as minorities and affirmative action came into being. I was
Mm-hmm.
placed in the back of the bus, actually, in all reality.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Go figure.
Yes. To make way for one group, special or not, you are actually harming others.
Right. I had to work
And that's
two
why
jobs.
merit based is the best bet.
Right. I had to work two jobs. to survive. And I've said this before, if it wouldn't have been for my in laws feeding me several times during the week, I don't I would have been living off of probably mac and cheese every day. I don't know if I could even afford it then.
Yeah.
Between rent, gas, light, phone, bus pass, clothes,
This is why I keep
everything,
saying they need to bring all of our jobs back from overseas.
they're sending them. I told you in a previous video, my daughter in
It's
law
still going to take
transferred,
a good 3 years to come into effect and start hiring.
right? And then, but if a Dem gets in,
It all gets sent right back over.
there you go. So that's why I have
Uh-huh.
an issue with this whole thing. That's why we need to revisit perhaps the presidency is a 6 or 7 year term limit and you're in and you're done and there is no running for a re-election. Maybe the same, I mean, we'd have to come up with what makes sense number wise, term limit year wise. But this bull crap of being a lifelong person, I mean, for 2 years, who wants to take a job for 2 years? As soon as you get into office, you have to run for re-election for the next upcoming cycle. How do you
Mm-hmm.
get anything accomplished? You don't. So
It's supposed
maybe,
to be 4 years for Senate and four for House, right? Or no,
so it's
six for
six for the
House.
Senate. It's six Senate and four for the
Six
House.
Senate, four House.
Yeah.
And I don't like the Nancy Pelosi group, the
Nope.
geriatrics who have literally lived in the halls of Congress.
Lindsey Graham,
That's
Bernie
how corruption sets
Sanders.
in.
Yeah, all of them.
Two
Mitch
terms,
McConnell.
that's it. Goodbye.
Right.
I think it's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Same with governors, mayors, everything. Two
Right.
terms, that's it. Goodbye. And nope, don't start campaigning. Have somebody else campaign for you.
Well, not even that. Yeah, I'm all for just doing it as one term limit, get in and be done. Either 3 years or 4 years, and you're in, and that's it. Goodbye, sayonara. We don't want to see you again.
Or people who have done the most successful might get a second term. You got to earn your second term. Actually show up. Your attendance matters.
Your
Your
voting,
work
your voting record matters. No more should you be allowed to vote
by
absent.
proxy.
Yeah. Well, no, they come up for a vote and they don't want to take a position, so they do that absent vote or whatever the heck it's called. Uh,
Yeah, no.
Vote, that non-vote that they do. No, you have to take a position, one side or the other, and you have to support your decision that you make. Yeah, it's either yay or nay. There is
Yeah.
no, oh no, I can't. I don't want to get involved. Pick a side.
Honestly, I think it should really come back to the people. Fuck these politicians in Congress, and we just have by yearly, so twice a year, we vote on things that we believe the federal government should be doing.
I'm down for that.
Kick it back to us.
Put it back on the agenda, and the American people vote. We should be voting whether or not we want to go to war. We should be voting on,
Yes.
any of the big decisions that are in this country should be voted on by the American people. Because obviously, the
The
people that we
representatives are not
elect,
representing
that
us.
they are not. They have other interests.
I can't do that no more. And MomDani is all the proof that some people get exactly what they deserve.
Hmm.
They scream democracy so much. When we finally go to a fully democratic thing, they're going to realize that they are the minority and that their opinion sucks and no one's going to go along with it.
Right.
They think that they're not being heard because that we need democracy. No, democracy gives you a fair chance. I'm sorry, democracy would be they don't get heard at all. The system we have in place makes sure the little people are heard as well as the big people are heard. The minority and the majority are heard pretty much equally. You get your chance, but you still get voted down because you're a moron.
Right.
It's just, it blows my mind that MomDani is getting away with this, and it's stupid. It's really stupid that he's trying to push this. And what's worse is the uneducated people who live off the government
Believe in
are
them.
the ones who are voting him back in.
Yes, ma'am.
I wish they had excerpts from his music. I want to hear how stupid he is.
They're on YouTube. We can pull it later.
Okay, I want to make fun of that.
There's a in 2019. If you back up and click on that, I think some of it has it. He released a single. Uh, I know there are some on YouTube. We can check
I'll
out.
have to find them too because, yeah, really?
Yeah,
This
it's
is
bad.
like if Eminem decided to run to become mayor of Detroit.
Right. Well, I think I give Eminem more credit than I do MAMDANI.
Yeah, actually, because he had a rough life.
That and he
Okay.
also has a pretty good business background with, from what I've seen.
Yeah, the way he markets himself and
Right.
stuff, he does do good. Mom Donnie can't even do that. So he's got to offer free everything.
Right.
Not realizing that they're going to lower this, like, okay, for even the free child care, they're going to lower the standards of the people providing care for your child.
Correct.
Your child's going to get hurt.
Mm-hmm. And
Like,
again, there's not even enough child care workers to take care of these children that are going to get free child care.
oh, so let's
And
recruit the homeless people to take care of the kids.
and there are where the child care centers at. They are required to have specific uh, requirements in order to get us a site up and running.
Corners will be cut.
Exactly.
This is what people don't realize. Your free medical means corners will be cut.
Hmm.
Your free childcare, corners will be cut. Free busing. Oh, how is he going to make the buses faster? Oh, because everyone's going to move out of New York and there won't be any traffic for the buses to be held up in.
Well, they've already instituted. Adams did that tax where when you drive into the city, it picks up, it reads your license plate number, and then
And they charge you.
you're charged just for driving in the city. So, say you want to come down to see the Christmas tree lighting or the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade, and you need to drive into the city, you will be charged a very high rate in addition to your parking and in addition to your McDonald's sandwich that you're going to get.
Okay, so I need to go from outside of the city to see a medical specialist. I get charged out the nose for having to see a specialist in the city
Right,
because I have to drive from just outside of the city proper into it, and I get charged out the nose because there's no busing from the outer edges in. There's no subway from the outer edges in. It's not fair.
right.
And it's bullshit. And all those people with the trucks of food who are getting hit with that, those companies, watch how they stop doing it so frequently.
Yep. Because one, they're not going to be inundated with these homeless people running up on them. It's not like there's going to be quiet, everybody's going to get in a line and, take their turn. It's going to be chaos.
Until they start bringing in armed forces to force people to stand in line or get shot, which happened in
Oh,
Korea, Russia, and China.
wait, wait. You mean like Trump calling in the National Guard to.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
mean that? Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah, that. But it won't be Trump's doing. It'll be MAMDANI's for everyone's safety.
Yep.
And like I said, 99.9% of the time, anything free ends in lead bullets or starvation or both. You will be starving and shot for
Yep.
starving and
Correct.
not being. This is just not going to go well. Why can't they just understand history is repeating itself? Because you idiots don't understand this is not going to work. It just and this guy has absolutely zero experience, and then his time in the assembly he did exactly jack shit.
Exactly. So why is he going to show up for work as mayor?
He's
Maybe the
had four
first.
years to do
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. He might show up
Oh,
for the first year, maybe the first 6 months, but after that, I think when things become difficult for him, he's just going to book.
or he's saying all this to get elected, is still going to do something different like most politicians do. And again, he can't force any of this to go through if the assembly, the representatives for the local areas, doesn't allow it to go through. He doesn't have a say
Well,
all be all as
right.
a mayor.
Correct. And he needs the support of Kathy Hochul, who's the governor.
And
And
she did back him.
yes, she did. Now, she is saying she's still her own person, whatever the hell
Bullshit.
that means. Uh, but Chuck Schumer is still on the fence, saying he has questions for him, and Hakeem Jeffries is supposed to give his support. My question is, why at the last minute? If they
Why?
believe,
Because they weren't sure he was actually going to win.
hmm if they believed in this guy, they would have backed him earlier. And they, I guess, were really hoping that Cuomo was going to be able to. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense either, though, of why they waited so long.
The fact is, they didn't think he had it.
I don't know. His numbers always looked good. I mean, if they truly believed in Cuomo, they still could have thrown their weight behind him and
Like that
possibly,
poll that said Kamala Harris won this was going to win the
right,
state, and then she didn't.
right. They could have thrown their weight behind Cuomo, hoping to maybe pull some of the Sliwa voters. But if if Hochul, Schumer, and Jeffries support Zofran, that tells you where the Democratic Party's headed and what direction they want the country to go in. At least that's what I believe.
But a lot of these people that they thought would instantly vote Democrat because they let them in this country are like, I just left this bullshit. Why am I going to vote for it?
Well, again, because it's free.
Actually, there's been some interviews, especially with people who immigrated from North Korea, China,
Right. Yeah,
Venezuela,
we have.
places like that, that said they will never vote for Democrat. Free just means from everyone loses out.
Right, and we realize that. But yet, the polling, and hopefully it's wrong, is showing the majority of New Yorkers want him. Why?
Unfortunately, because New York is retarded and brainwashed, half of them didn't even graduate.
Okay.
Look at the lower class. How many of them do you think really graduated high school?
Hmm. Same
Or
could
how
be
many do you
said
think
for,
went into
okay,
the
this,
gangs and drug industry?
right. The same could be said for Portland, Chicago, LA, Philadelphia,
Yes,
all of that, okay? But an
I do
issue here,
agree. The inner cities have a lot of problems with kids not graduating.
okay, but the issue here is that the Democratic Party of Chuck Schumer, Bernie Sanders, AOC, Kathy Hochul, they
But
want
on
to
a national
see.
level, these people are losing support.
Well, I hope
Like,
so.
if you take a national poll about the Democrats, they are losing support.
Right. right. And it needs to continue because if not, we're screwed.
Yeah,
And
locally they're
yeah,
strong, but
right,
on a national level, some of these smaller states without cities like New York and Chicago and stuff, they're losing support
right, right.
if this
And,
is the way the Democratic Party is going to go.
yeah. But it says a lot, though, that the head of the Democratic Party, being Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, are saying we support him. So they're
And
effectively
they're and
they're
hopefully on a larger level these people will be voted out.
exactly.
I,
But again, I'm suggesting is that they are supporting this, right? Which is suggestive of the direction that they want the party to go. Because if they didn't, why would they support them? Why would
honestly, I wonder if their last minute support is because AOC and Bernie Sanders
did
are
that?
pulling some things.
That's highly possible, and they're concerned about their position. Well, because AOC is supposed to challenge Chuck Schumer, so and the expectation is she's going to win his seat.
I hope not.
Well, uh,
But the way New
oh,
York is going,
oh yeah, they'll vote her in.
it's going to
Like,
drag a good chunk of America down
yes, it
before
is.
it gets changed.
Yes, ma'am.
And again, we can only hope and pray. But reality is going to be this is going to be really ugly for a very long time. We're talking decades before people learn their lesson. And that's if they're even able to have the freedom to vote
Right.
afterwards.
Yep.
It starts in the cities and then it takes over. And that's what happened in Russia. It's what happened in China. It's what happened in North Korea. And look what happened. Look where they're at now.
Uh huh.
It's really scary that this, but again, the larger the population, the more likely this is going to take root at some point. I'm amazed it didn't happen sooner. And
Well,
again,
that's because we're pretty much at that 50-50 split, and I do
yep,
think that there are some Democrats that have a head on their shoulder, that have some realistic expectations.
like Fetterman, who's been absolutely outspoken about a lot of this
Right.
stuff.
So, all right, keep going.
All right. Next is his early political involvement, or do we want to jump to the next article?
Well, scroll down. What else is there?
Hmm, his mayoral campaign,
Um,
political position, dumbass, dumbass, dumbass. Oh, sorry. His economic policy.
Scroll back up there a second, Crazy B. Uh, During his mayoral campaign, Zofran said his leadership style would resemble those of Boston Mayor Michelle Wu. Oh my lord. And Baltimore Mayor
Uh,
Brandon Scott.
wait, we've heard so much about Baltimore. I know people who want to get the fuck out of Baltimore.
And I know people up in Boston, and I've seen Michelle Wu in action, and they're both problems and proof that this is going to be a problem. Hmm.
Yep.
So he praises Wu, whom he calls the most effective current Democrat politician, for her policies such as fare free public transportation, which inspired his own proposals for New York City. So he's playing copycat.
Yep. But has he heard from the people of Boston or Baltimore on how much their life has gotten better?
Oh, I don't think so.
Because I'm pretty sure their lives have not gotten better.
Nope.
Um, He wants to build 200,000 units in 10 years for affordable living
Where?
in New York.
I know, but where? Where? Well, like where? Like how high are the buildings going to be?
I don't know.
Or are we going underground?
He
Perhaps.
doesn't have any of that info.
Exactly. So
He
in
wants to
four,
expand corporate and high income taxes
right?
to
So in
fund
four,
tuition free universities,
yeah, in 4 years,
childcare, and public transit. There have been city run grocery stores that have flopped horribly across the United States.
correct. Oh, and listen, he doesn't think that we should have billionaires. Really? How much money does he have? And let's decide perhaps he has too much money. I'll
Hey,
bet
do
he.
we remember when Bernie Sanders was tax the
Uh-huh.
millionaires until he
Yeah.
became a millionaire?
Yep.
And now it's tax the billionaires. And
Right.
when he becomes a billionaire, what are they going to do?
I wonder if Mandami makes more than I do, and perhaps I could suggest that he makes too much money.
So basically, they don't want any one person trickling their extra money down to us. They want it divided amongst everyone, but it's not going to last long. It's like winning the lottery.
Right.
You win the lottery and it's gone quickly. People who win the jackpots never have it more than, I think, except with the exception of two or three cases. Jackpot winners usually lose it all within the first couple of years, within
Yep.
5 years.
Because they
It's
go
gone
crazy. Yep.
because they don't invest it, they just spend it. And that's going to be the problem. Oh, you think these grocery stores, you ain't going to get jack shit for quality, let alone quantity. Like, just, oh my God. Like,
Read that next paragraph.
the pledges to cut taxes for overtaxed outer borough homeowners while raising them on expensive homes in wealthier white neighborhoods. Yeah. His proposal
Racist.
targets at night. Go ahead.
Racist.
Yeah, this right here.
Racist.
I'm white. I'm not wealthy. I don't live in a wealthy neighborhood. Actually, I live just outside of Methville. There's a halfway house for drug addicts just around the corner from me. Yeah, in a tiny town. His proposal targets a 1981 law that bases taxes on rent value rather than market value, allowing expensive properties to be undertaxed compared to cheaper homes. Right. Are we going to take into consideration the places that don't rent, like hotels and stuff like that? How much are they being taxed?
I will. Let me understand this. So, homes are being taxed based on rental value rather than the market value.
Yeah.
So they. So I don't disagree with that. I mean, our homes here are based on the market value.
But he's going to do that for areas that are of people
But
of color, as he puts it.
right, it should be
People who don't
everybody.
qualify for the racial
Right.
check mark are not going to qualify under this.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's either all across the board or not at all.
Yep. All right.
That's what equality is.
I'll have to pull out my 21 and Me report at the highest denomination of
I might
the
have to start
white.
sitting out in the sun to get a little bit darker and tolerate the itching.
Exactly, because I've now become a minority. Okay. All right.
This is bullshit. He has, okay, he doesn't have a say in foreign policy being a mayor.
Nope.
He knows that, right?
No. Cuomo had to school him on what a mayor does and what a governor does, and I think
Yet,
perhaps what the president does.
but yet here, He has condemned Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro and Cuban President Miguel Diaz Canel as dictators while also criticizing US sanction embargoes on their countries. Wait, okay, so bad guys don't do that, but we shouldn't punish them either.
Mm-hmm.
Right. How's that going to work out? Um let's see. He was outspoken against India's prime minister Modi. I'm not I think it's Narendra, but or Narendra. I'm not sure exact pronunciation. Um, calling him a war criminal. Oh, is that because he's trying to, stop the Muslims from killing the Hindus?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Is that my understanding? He is critical of Israel and accused Israel of committing genocide in Gaza. Except we looked at the stats on that, and it was mostly men who were killed during the Gaza attacks, not children and women.
Right.
So genocide consists of you are wiping out the entire group, not just the fighting age men who are literally attacking as
Right.
well. And I know people who have family in Israel. I've gotten to know a lot more about this topic than I did even a year ago. I've absolutely learned so much in the last few months about what is going on. It is mind boggling how they think this is a genocide when Israel is literally doing their best, their bare minimum to keep it at bay. They could just wipe these nations off the face of the earth, and then you can cry genocide, but at least Israel wouldn't be being attacked by three sides. So, there's that. And again, I'm not supportive of the idiots in charge who think they need to rule the world. And yes, there are some in the Israeli government who are like that. I am talking on behalf of the citizens who just want to go back to their lives. So, they don't deserve to be going through this shit. Um, let's see. MAMDANI also said he would support the ICC's arrest warrants for Russia's Vladimir Putin and Netanyahu. When are they planning on coming to New York? When do you see Putin coming to New York?
They're supposed to come next year.
Oh, okay. I thought they were going to D.C., the White House, where they usually meet.
This is for, I believe, the United Nations meeting.
Oh, okay. Well, Mamdani doesn't have the political power to make those arrests.
He's saying he does, and he will have the NYPD arrest them.
And then the Supreme Courts and President Trump are going to have a field day with this, and it'll turn into a 4-year battle.
Well, no, think of if he actually goes through with it and has them arrested. I do think maybe perhaps we will have World War III on our hands. Because I don't think Putin will go down quietly.
Well, I don't think Putin's going to blame Trump for some stupid mayor on
Uh,
a power trip.
you never know. Stranger things have happened.
And Netanyahu will just sit in his cell and laugh while this gets sorted out and he ends up getting released. And Putin will end up getting released.
But it's going to cause a major international incident. And the embarrassment that these two men would feel, I don't believe Putin would be too accepting of it.
Well, he can nuke New York, just leave the other places alone.
There you go.
I wouldn't cry. At this point, I don't think I would cry if that happened
Yep.
because New York is a cesspool that is dragging the rest of the nation down slowly by slowly. This is like gangrene. If you don't cut it away and cut it out and get on some antibiotics for that shit, you will lose your entire leg instead of just your toe. Like seriously, folks. And plus, he does not have the power to actually do this. Yeah, the local police might be step in and do something, but It has to be our federal government that hands them over. We'll take custody and then release them. That's how I see it going if he even gets as far as them being arrested. And I just don't see that happening. I don't see him actually backing it up.
Well, if he wins, we'll see next year.
I mean, when have any of our politicians actually backed up what they said they were going to do?
I think
State and local ones.
personally, I think he'll attempt it.
Attempt is not the same as succeeding.
Hmm?
So this will be playing out interestingly. Um, what else do we got? His social. Wait, what's his religion? Is he Muslim?
I believe yes, he is.
Then how is he supporting any of the gender identity nonsense and abortion?
They keep asking him that. He has skirted the issue.
So he's not really Muslim. He's only Muslim to get votes from the Muslims. But
Probably
he's not an actual practicing Muslim.
not that I know of, but I didn't look into his whole religious background piece. We did. I thought we played a video of him where
He was
someone,
trying to act like he was.
yeah, somebody,
Yes.
well, that and somebody also went up to him and had him, was screaming at him to denounce Sharia law, which he has
Uh
not.
huh.
So,
Well, yeah, because then he would lose the Muslim community, but he's not exactly partaking in the Muslim community if he's supporting gender changes and stuff like that, and gay
it,
support and
but
lesbian support.
but we also saw him with Muslim leaders in those pictures. Uh, that he does have their support. So,
So it's going to be one of two things. He gets mayor, turns it into Sharia law, and all of a sudden the whatever alphabet community, password community, is going to start being chucked off of roofs,
right.
like what happens in the Middle East.
Hmm.
And it's going to be, oh, they fell. Not that they were shoved off by a large group of Muslim people. Nope, nope. Or the Sharia law supporting
Right.
Muslim people.
Right.
There are some Muslims who do not support Sharia law, so let me be very clear. Let's not confuse the two. So, yeah, I think there is a serious there's a lot of serious possibilities that could come of this. And all the supporters who are password community people very much could end up being the first of the victims.
And that is what, if you look at historically with all of the dictators, they usually
Mm-hmm.
get that support that is necessary
And
from
then chuck them.
whomever to get in, and then ultimately end up unaliving them or having them enslaved in some type of work situation. Back in the day in China, North Korea, they were sent to labor camps, work in the fields till you died there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
And the one thing I will say is historically, Hitler was always against that community, the
Right.
deviants, as he
Right.
referred to them.
Yes.
He was not in support of them, but there was a mass growing just before he came to power because he felt they were ruining the country. Yes, he blamed Jewish people for those people being in existence. It's not as far as I can tell, the Jewish people did not bring on that at that time, except maybe the Bolsheviks, which did the same thing in Russia just before Russia's fall to the Bolsheviks. And then we had Stalin and his nonsense for quite a while. So, historically speaking, when you start getting that kind of insanity in your communities, and again, I get it. I'm not going to sit here and judge a person who's gay. I live my life, they live theirs. God will deal with them in the end. It's not my place to punish them. But the wild spread of it that has gone into the insanity we see, like I used to like anime, and then the furry community hijacked the anime,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not worth watching anymore.
Geez, they hijacked frickin' Sesame Street.
Oh no no no! Yeah, that and Disney now has an anime that
Yep,
is a combination of LGBTQ whatever bullshit
yep,
mixed with the furry community,
yeah.
based on Harry Potter type schooling, but with the different a few select stories. It's just really fucked up. I couldn't make heads nor tails of it. And a friend of mine was trying to explain it to me, and I'm like, this is just messed up. But young kids and their teens who are left to their own devices
Uh-huh.
will find this appealing.
Yep.
And every little this is how there I have a friend who has footage of what Muslim propaganda looks like in Palestine. Okay? That is anti Jew propaganda. And again, when it comes down to it, the only Jewish group that I've ever blamed for any of this in historical precedence is the Bolsheviks because they were radical. They were not of the norm. Most of the Jewish community had cut ties with them because they were insane with this idea of communism. And so let's just, historically speaking, this Zofran dude is only perpetuating what was started in the late 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
They are just trying new tactics, but it is working just like it did before. And again, they always blame the Jewish people for this. They always blame the Jews, the capitalists. They always blame the people who do better than them.
Yep.
Why? It's jealousy. It is envy. One of the seven deadly sins, by the way, in case anyone's not up to date on that stuff. This is showing how deep the rot really is in the United States.
Well, and it's just not New York. I mean, look at what has happened in Detroit, Minnesota, Portland, all LA, Philadelphia.
Every major city,
Yeah.
every major city has this going on, and it's going to be a problem.
I mean, I've talked about this before. I'm really getting to believe we need to have the North and the South, or the East and the West, and just split the
Duke it
country,
out.
build a wall. No, don't even duke it out. You know what I mean? You
Let
go,
them duke it out.
you go
The
which way
extremists.
you go. No, you go which way you want. You know what I mean? Because obviously half the country's for this shit, the other half isn't.
Well, they
So,
did that in Korea, and North Korea for the longest time kept invading to steal food and stuff and industry things until we had to put up a DMZ monitored by multiple countries.
mhm. Well,
It sucks. It really sucks. And I would rather be hiding out on top of a mountain where no one can find me when shit
that
hits the fan.
that's the problem. People will find you.
I'm sick of this bullshit. Someone take me to a deserted island and drop me off with the people I love. We'll make ourselves happy there.
Yep. All right, you better keep going, or we'll be on this all day.
Well, yes, yeah. Oh, it's crime policies, crime and policing. It's all a mental health problem. So let's send social workers. There's the summary.
Mm, do we have enough social workers?
Probably not.
Maybe they'll get the same training as the daycare workers are going to get.
That's going to go well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, what are you going to do? Send them out with a vial of Thorazine and hope they can get the injection in before they're killed?
You know, you've seen the stories with the animal trainers that have the dart on the long pole to like
Mm-hmm.
dart the animal. That's, I think, what they're going to go with.
Oh, but that's so inhumane.
Oh,
Blow darts.
no, this would
Blow
have to
darting the
be
mentally ill
right,
homeless. That's going to
right.
go really well.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a big
Well,
mistake.
this
And
past
oh, by the way, he's against political violence.
yeah, and this past October, he apologized for describing the NYPD as being racist in September 2025. Now, just that means, well, we're now in November 2nd, but that means that a little over a month ago, he, uh, hold on one second, Crazy Bee, please.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Somebody's at the.
Oops. Oh, are you back? Dee, can you hear me?
Okay. It's
Oh,
okay.
bugger. I hope you
All
can
right,
hear
I didn't
me.
know who it was. All right, hon, go ahead.
Are
Um,
you still able to hear me? Dee?
oh, and just before we get into the other piece, so then, yeah, he condemned the assassination of Charlie Kirk, as you said, saying that there was no place for political violence in the U.S., except if you've listened to some of his rhetoric uh, in some of his previous videos, I'm going to argue otherwise for the statements that he's made. While he might not have made a direct call out like Maxine Waters did, he has implied it.
Yes, he has. And implication is really bad.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today is still Sunday, November 2nd. It's 2:05 p.m. Crazy Bee and I took a small break, and now we're back with Zofran, as I affectionately, or is there such a word as uninfectional? Disinfection. Disinfection. Oh, I like that. We need to disinfect the.
Disinfectionately.
Yeah, could we? Yeah, maybe that's a new word. Okay. Mm-hmm. You know how we like to do our own words. I thought we were going to start a dictionary. I think this is word 4 or 5 we might have come up with.
Or more at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
I say so many in just a regular conversations.
There you go.
And whenever else I'm doing things, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, my words don't work.
Yeah. So everybody, thank you for joining Rex Sisters this afternoon. You'll be seeing this video on Monday, November the 3rd, the day before the mayoral race in New York City. We are begging you, please don't vote for this fill in the blank. Any expletive, here we go,
The commie wannabe
expletive,
dictator,
thank you,
the
that,
wannabe communist dictator of New
yes,
York.
that you want to fill in the blank with. Please, don't forget to like, follow, share, comment, subscribe, join the Discord where the conversations can continue, as well as just having some good carrying on and fun and meeting other like minded and sometimes not so like minded people in the group. Uh, but with this particular article, we're going to finish off here on his Wikipedia, as many of the topics are covered in what we will be presenting. So rather than continue on with this, Crazy Bee will have it listed in the description below.
Yep.
So this one here was pretty interesting in that an article in an article resurfaced from 2013 where Zofran's mother described him as not being an American at all. Yeah,
And does this surprise us?
no,
Okay. I'm
uh-huh,
not surprised. He is very anti American.
very much so. And I cannot believe that this messaging has not gotten out. And the date on this article, Crazy Bee, is from when? Uh,
Devil's Night. Or no, the 20 October 29th. Oh, your
okay,
head's there we go. Now
there
you can
we
see
go.
it.
Now I can see it. So just a couple days ago, why did it take this long to find this information? You know
It was
they've
on
had it.
purpose.
Yeah, you know they've had it. Nobody wanted to say anything.
Of course.
And now we're going to try to do this last minute push to. Now this is kind of all coming together in my head as a last minute push to make it appear perhaps such that, oh, we're against him, when reality they have been for him this entire time since he ran his campaign. At least that's what I'm starting to see in my head, the picture I'm getting. You know, they've known
This looks
all
better
of
in
his
here, didn't it?
stance, all of his positions and everything, and now all of a sudden this stuff is being brought to light and is a problem. Cuomo's come back into the race. I mean, it just, even Adams went out and came back in and then went back out in the race again. So something stinks. The fish
Uh huh.
the fish is really not. What is that? Something about the fish's head or something? Isn't there a saying about that? Or the snake's head? Something about somebody's head stinks, and
I
it's
didn't
Zofran.
realize this is a big bowl of
So,
sugar. Sorry. I asked for tea and I get, oh, it has a big bowl of sugar. So, um, yeah, there is something about it, something stinking. I can't remember the saying though.
yeah,
I
but
cannot off.
I know, but there is one, isn't there? The fish. It's either the fish, the snake, some animals. Basically, it's a rotting. Uh,
That's usually fish.
yeah.
A reference to some kind of fish
Okay.
smelling. Something
Yeah.
smells fishy, probably.
There you go. We'll go with that.
If it smells like a fish, it's
Uh huh.
probably a fish.
Uh
And
huh.
in this case, it could be an eel.
Yeah.
And
This is true.
that's an insult to eels.
Correct. Yeah, they would be very upset. All right. So if you could scroll up there, Crazy Bee. So
Yep.
Zofran's uh, mom, who is a filmmaker, once described the socialist mayoral frontrunner as not an American at all in a newly surfaced interview about his Indian roots. Mandami's mother, Mira Nair, made the remarks in a 2013 interview with the Hindustan Times when she was asked about her then 21-year-old son's upbringing. He is a total desi, Nair told the outlaw, referring to the Hindi and Urdu Urdu
Urdu.
term Urdu term used to describe those of Indian descent.
And they got some pictures. His
Hmm.
mom's pretty.
Yeah, she's
She's
cute.
actually pretty.
Yeah, she is.
There. Um,
Yeah,
it's picks up, I believe.
he was born in Uganda, raised between India
Oh,
and America. He is at home in many places. He thinks of himself as a Ugandan and as an Indian, his mom said. Completely. We are not Farangs at all. He is very much us. He is not an American,
American.
American at all, she continued. He was born in Uganda, raised between India and America. He is at home in many places. He thinks of himself as a Ugandan and as an Indian. The term Farangs is often used informally in the Hindi and Urdu language to refer to foreigners. At the time of the interview, Mandami, who moved to New York at the age of 7 and became a naturalized U.S. citizen in 2019, was a student at Bowdoin College, a liberal arts school in Maine. His mom went on to say in the interview that the family only spoke Hindustani at home. Elsewhere, she described Mandami as a very, I never heard that word,
I think it's
chalu,
Chalu.
chalu fellow, meaning street smart, and alluded to his early political aspirations. He is very involved with current affairs, politics, and political issues, she said at the time. I think he can be engaged in the world in some way to make a difference. He is very, very interested in that. The Post had reached out to Mendami's campaign about his mom's newly unearthed remarks. And of course,
Of course,
heard
no
nothing.
response.
Exactly. So,
So he doesn't even consider himself American.
no, this is disturbing. And I want to also suggest that if they're perhaps naturalized, that there should be a length of period before they could run for office.
Hmm. I think so too. And honestly, though, even naturalized does not mean they
Have
really
it
want to be here in
correct.
some cases. And
Correct.
again, I'm going to talk on behalf of the people. Like, I'm going to say this because not all immigrants are like this. Naturalized Americans who've come, they've given up their citizenship elsewhere, some of the best people on the planet.
Right.
I have met so many. My grandfather was one, my great grandfather. I come from a line of this. And I'm talking back in the 1920s, not the 18, 17, 16, whatever 20s, the 1920s. Very fresh in my memory, hearing the stories. So for me, it hurts to see someone become a naturalized American and not actually like America or
Correct.
want to be an
Either.
American or
Right.
consider themselves an American. That is insane.
Shades of Ilhan Omar.
Oh my
Except,
God. Why are these
except,
people allowed in politics?
right. Exactly. So either, rather than differentiate between being a refugee, being naturalized, or whatever the circumstance, perhaps there should be like a 5 year waiting period before you're allowed to enter politics. There should
Well,
be some
it was how many years from 2018 to
from
2021?
2019, from 2019 till he entered in
Oh, hold on.
20, yeah.
No, I thought it said 2018. Yeah, citizen in 2018.
Yeah, but she went on to say something about 20, it doesn't matter. It was
He
18 or
got into politics in
19. Yeah.
2021.
So, with 3 years later, after becoming a naturalized citizen, eh, do you really know
Uh-uh.
about America? Hell no.
But I know there's someone on my server who just last year got to become a naturalized citizen. Absolutely all American. All American kid, wonderful sweetheart. I love him to death. Wonderful. He's the age of my son and is so happy to be here. His family is so happy to be here. They left a very bad country.
But you can't go based on
I know, but that's what's sad is that there are so many who want to be Americans.
that's
But
fine,
then you
but
get this group of idiots.
that don't want to be, but they
Oh,
want to take advantage of the system.
system. Yep.
Therefore, therefore, there has to be something in place, even for those that are of the utmost character, uh, that I'm
Hmm.
sorry, you have to wait as well. You have to have the same 3 to 5 year window that we would determine before you could
Well,
enter
even
politics.
in that 3 to 5 year window, and they behave, they're still going to espouse when they become politicians. I
That
think it should be if you do not support the American dream, you do not get to run to be a politician.
and how what are you going to base that on? What type of test are they going to take for that?
I have no clue, but we got to figure some way to determine who was up for socialism and who's up for American
Right.
capitalism and merit based hiring.
Or perhaps if they enter office, right, and they espouse the socialist
Then we get rid of them.
Then
They get
then
fired, and
it's an
the
automatic.
runner up
Yeah,
goes.
the runner-up goes in. There's an automatic, you're out. There is no court, you get to go to court, you pass go and collect 200, you go directly to jail.
Hmm. And see, I believe in having a safety net for society, but it cannot become a way of life.
No,
We need a safety net for people who fall on hard times, but we also can't make it to where they can live off of it
right? And
and never
first,
really actually
right?
work.
And number one, it is for the American citizen
Only.
only. And then two, as stated, now as you said, if you're on hard times, that's one thing. If you are this generational user of the system and have the ability to work, I do think we should probably offer some type of support in seeking a job, but jobs have to be available. You know what I mean? You just can't
That's
say
the
go
other
get a
hard
job,
part.
right? You can't just say you're cut off of the system because you can work when there's no jobs available. And you just mentioned both your kids are having difficulty finding a job because no
In
jobs
a
are there.
tiny ass town, but
Right.
there's a lot of businesses, but they all claim to be hiring. And once you put in an application, you go in for an
Yep.
interview, but you're never hired.
Right.
They go through the motions, but never actually hire.
Right.
Or like my son, they do hire you. They work you for a few weeks or a few months, like a couple of days a week each month, and
Uh-huh.
then they
And it's all done on
schedule you
purpose.
out.
It's all done on purpose to save money. When
Yes.
it is not uh corporations play the money game. I told you I worked for a company that I took a job in compensation, which I hate tremendously. I really dislike comp and benefits. But I went to work for this organization, and every single day, there's thousands of employees they had throughout several states. I went to penny, the penny on how much I could save if I moved this many employees here, this many employees there, laid these off, brought this on. I mean, it truly is a numbers game. And when you're able to work less, they pay less in taxes. It's a whole system. Again, as we mentioned, take a look at another problem area, the way that's all produced. Uh,
Hmm.
and so for the government to say, get off the dole, quit with the food stamps, quit with SNAP, quit with WIC, we're reducing this, that's fine. There's an expectation placed on people, but there has to be jobs available. There has to be a way
Bingo.
for these people to get to the job. What city was I looking at? Fudge. Where transportation is just basically in the city itself, and it's really run poorly run. And so, if you live on the outskirts, there's no bus service to get into the city to take a job. If
Yeah.
you were, there's no way to get there if you
Uh
don't
huh.
drive. There is no good, bus transportation service. And that I would venture to say is probably the case in many cities with rundown bus services. Look at New York City again. He admits, Zofran admits how rundown the subway system is, as well as the bus system. That all needs to be
Because
yeah. And you have
mishandling of funds,
yep,
criminal behavior, and honestly, it's a nightmare. And people who are the told jump over the turnstiles
right.
instead of paying the
Crazy B,
freeloaders.
yeah, Crazy B. Pull your mic in a little bit closer. You
Just a
sound a
bit right here.
yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Uh, and you have people living on the buses and living on the subway. Or if you
Yes.
get them moved off, you get on in the morning and you have a, drunken bum. There were some videos that I recently watched about how jammed up the subway is in New York and the violence that occurs. You could just be somebody sitting there, and somebody comes in and you're told, get up out of that seat. I want to sit there. And an all out
Yeah.
brawl ensues. And so the lack of police presence has increased this in the transportation segment, particularly. So it's a mess. And it's just
Mm-hmm.
not New York. And, again, people, think about this is going to spread. We've already seen inklings in the other big cities, and it
Yep.
will come to a city near you. Trust me, it's going to happen.
And
Oh,
then it will be no choice but to enforce it on the rural areas.
yes. Yep. And that's going to
Mm-hmm.
be rough. And that's what they talk about. I'm still very curious to see what LA has done with regard to, and I apologize for digressing, but we'll try to make this quick as far as the 15-minute city goes and how they wanted to bring people in and out. Uh, I don't know. That's something we should probably revisit Crazy Bee and see where they're
I
at.
think it's worth revisiting because it's
Uh-huh.
one of the main goals of this communist bullshit they're trying to
Correct.
push.
Yes, ma'am. So, is that all part of it, perhaps? You know what I mean? Is that the
I'm
whole
sure
point?
of it. Well, I mean, we know that the Economic Forum,
Right.
the World
World
Economic
Economic
Forum,
Forum. Yep.
has been pushing this shit.
Correct.
And they're going to take the major cities first. And again, this is, I hate to say it, we're trying to fight the inevitable. We're
Right.
delaying the inevitable.
Correct.
It's going to happen, unfortunately, but we are trying to prepare people how to slow it down and how to survive it.
Right. Or do you let it go, and, as they say, do we just rip the band-aid off and have at it? The way that
This
they
is one of the
permitted
this is
illegal
again a
immigration.
global shift
Yeah.
that I don't know whether we should just fight it or let it go and get it over with.
Right.
I'm really torn on the two options because historically
It would
patterns
be
of
ugly.
rise and
Yep.
fall of civilizations,
Right.
this was bound to happen.
Right. I didn't expect it to be this quick, and
I I agree.
I think with Biden in particular, permitting so many illegals in with what we've
You mean
already
the auto
seen.
pen permitting so many illegals?
Right. Although he was the deporter in chief, I think that was probably, I'll challenge those numbers. Uh, but we've had many, it just wasn't him. There have been many that have, uh, throughout the last several decades, we've heard up to 30 million. Perhaps that number is on the high end. Regardless, we could probably start adding numbers from all the various places that we've seen, the agencies where abuses have occurred,
Mm-hmm.
even going all the way back to the kickbacks to the USAID program, that somehow funnels their way to other countries, and the NGOs that are all involved. This is like a bit like, who the hell was in charge of all of this? You know, that is the mastermind behind all of this
Is
planning.
there a mastermind or is there a group of people who really are just pushing it?
That's is that the World Economic Forum then?
Yeah, I would believe so. I
Hmm.
just got word another presidential candidate in Mexico was assassinated.
Oh no,
Um, another one.
jeez.
And if this turns into what Zofran and all these other assholes want, we can expect it here too.
Yes, ma'am. Well, we're already seeing some of it. I mean, look at Charlie Kirk. Look at the
They tried to take out
assassination attempt
Trump.
on Trump. Hmm. They tried to get Officer Tatum. They put a
Hmm.
call out a hit on him.
There's even a call out on YouTubers,
Uh,
and one that I follow, Nuxanor,
mm,
Nuxtaku, whichever channel you want to follow him under, Nux. There's been
I
people are
thought
like, this
Megan
guy's got to
Kelly.
die.
Yeah, I thought Megan Kelly, Candace Owens.
Yup.
Uh huh. So whatever
Yeah.
you believe, the Hodge twins, whatever you believe, Again, we're still challenging any viewer out there. I have not come across the right calling for the violence that the left has done.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the only thing we have witnessed was we played that video, was that Thursday or Friday, Crazy Bee, with the Patriots finally standing their ground and
That
fighting
was on Friday. Yes.
Antifa up in Portland. And the only reason they did was they were attacked first.
Yep.
Man punched a woman in the face, and there was everything that occurred. It was Antifa making the first move. So
Yes, it was.
we are waiting to see where is it that the right has attempted any type of violence against any figures on the left. And
Honestly, I don't think it's ever been seen since, well, the neo Nazis made their big move back in the 80s, 70, the late 70s, early 80s.
yeah.
There really hasn't been.
Now, I do know that in September of this year there was a man from Texas that attempted bodily injury to Zofran. I do not recall them putting anything
Is
in the
there footage
article.
of it?
Not footage, but I can get an article for later. I'll pull.
Well, because I'm wondering, because again, what most people don't realize, Antifa doesn't want any government.
Right,
True Antifa does not want any government. They are anarchists.
right.
And so that wouldn't surprise me. But there's also the extreme right, which would, I haven't seen them make a move.
Uh,
So
yeah, and I'm
even the
waiting.
most extreme right people I know, I have not seen actually do shit. They just run their mouths.
Oh, exactly. You hear the mouth run.
Yeah. They just try to hype other people into doing it like the left does.
Right,
But funny enough, it's not the person with the podcast who went out and does the shootings.
right,
It's someone who listens to them.
right.
They hype
There
other
it-
people up to do their dirty work.
Right. They incite the violence, just like Maxine Waters did. Right. If you
Yes.
see somebody say something, and look at what happened, they got Sarah Sanders. We have an
Hmm.
article that we've been waiting to cover. Stephen Miller, working on President Trump's team, had to move from his home from being doxxed, and images and writings on his sidewalk and their safety. They had to move.
And there
Uh,
was a second firebombing attempt on um, Governor Shapiro, who
yeah,
is a leftist,
yep,
but because of his Jewish ancestry,
yep. They
they
are
are
going
now going after him.
right. I mean, they have made numerous threats against Tucker Carlson. Uh, the violence and the rhetoric is coming from the left. They are the ones making the division between the American people. It goes all the way down through families. It has escalated to such that there are family members, friends that don't talk to one another anymore over this bullshit. And it needs to stop. Our leaders should be held to a higher standard. And if they can't meet the standard, then again, vamoose, you're done.
Yep.
So, all right, what do you got for us next?
1 second. Um, Still going on about the in DMs about the person who was executed. I just wanted to one last statement before I move on to what we were doing. Okay, so next we have this article.
Okay,
I did not read this. I know you sent it.
yeah. So this is what the latest polls are telling us, and this is from I believe yesterday evening. Uh,
It does not give me.
yes,
Oh, yes, it
November
does. November
1st
1st
at 10
up
a.m.
here.
It was in the morning. Okay, so this is what the polls are saying. Hundreds of
Do I
thousands.
need to enlarge it?
No, I'm okay. Hundreds of
Okay.
thousands of New Yorkers have already cast their ballots in the first days of early voting in the NYC mayoral election, as the three frontrunners show no signs of letting up on their campaigns. Zofran, and we don't need to go into this part about what they did. You can read that all the candidates were out and about. So some 480,000 people have already voted in the closely watched race, outpacing the last election as big money has poured in from national figures trying to prevent Zofran from taking the reins in the nation's most populous city. So now they're waiting again till the damn last minute. Couldn't get a good candidate up front. No, but they're going to throw a lot of money behind it now that they know this is a real possibility. That's
Mm-hmm.
bullcrap. Public filings show former Mayor Michael Bloomberg donated $3.5 million this week to a super PAC opposing MAMDANI and $1.5 million to another PAC supporting Cuomo. Meanwhile, Cuomo continued to post pictures and AI-generated videos that claim to vote for Sliwa is a vote for Mamdani, aiming to sway conservative voters to his campaign. Now that's ridiculous. Despite the
It
big,
is
I mean, that is just truly, and that shows
manipulative.
you that Cuomo cannot stand on his own 2 feet. We know
Yep.
what a liar he is. We know how many thousands of people that he contributed to their deaths on from the
Yep.
COVID vaccine. This is, he knows how bad he sucks. He's just trying to prevent Zofran from taking the reins as well. But despite all this money, Zofran remains the clear frontrunner in the polls so far, as he maintains his double-digit lead over the governor in most of the polls. The most recent poll, however, has shown his lead over Cuomo has shrunk to just 7 points, the closest of the campaign so far. Unlike the primaries, the general election does not use ranked choice voting, so the candidate with the most votes after the election day will become the mayor. And then there's a breakdown of what the polls show. You can
I
read
want the
each of
most
the names.
recent.
Uh, well, there's October. These are all from down to the 28th. That's the keep going. They're all within the same week. And so they do show that Zofran is up pretty significantly.
The one from the 27th shows this as the ranking, the Emerson
Mm-hmm.
College, October
Yep.
25th through the 27th, but only 640 people were part of that poll.
Right.
So,
And
again,
I mean, polling is a sampling of what is supposed to be representative of in that area, but oftentimes they're questionable. Uh,
this one had what this has got the most people that were likely
the got
voters,
yeah, scroll up a little
and
bit.
it shows 4320. Oh, sorry. So
Yeah,
it's not behind your head.
yeah,
The Gotham polling and
right,
analytics from the 22nd to the 26th shows 43, 29, 19 with the highest amount of people participating as
right.
likely voters.
So I mean, it's tough.
It's scary.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Now,
really freaking scary,
do you
is what it
have?
is.
Yeah, do you have that? We probably were going to talk about it later, but since we're looking at the polling, do you have that page that I sent over that shows the breakdown of how New York votes?
Mm.
That they get to vote up until the day they can go to the voting office to register the
Oh,
day
the all
before.
important dates one?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Okay, here, let me share this as
Okay,
part of
so
that.
now,
This is it.
yeah, this is a good follow up to what we just talked about because remember now, 480,000 people already voted in early voting. Why so many people? Why can't there be just you go and you vote on election day? How much of the 480,000 votes are actual U.S. citizens? Do we know that? Do we know that there has been no fraud in what has been submitted so far? Now,
We have to assume they've sifted through, but probably not.
that's what I say. Because why? Because history has shown us since the 2016 election exactly what has gone on and how bad it is with all the
Mm-hmm.
theft of ballots, with the mail in balloting, with the picking up and carrying them off at the different drop boxes. Which way are they doing this? Is this computer? Is this paper? Who are these people? Now, this was listed on the website of the all important dates from the state of New York, and you could see that the last date to apply online or by mail to vote is October 25th. How does that give them any time for any type of verification with the election a couple weeks away, days away? How
No
does that?
clue.
Okay. The last day to apply in person at your county board of elections is on
It's the day
November the
before.
3rd. Is the
The day
day,
before.
yes. Based on what? What criteria? So your ballot has to have a postmark no later than the day of the election. So even that night, we're not going to know really. I mean, you will, but there still are votes that are out there that why even go to the post office to get a postmark because your damn vote isn't going to count for jack shit. I mean,
Uh-huh.
why bother at that point? Drop it off no later than 9 p.m. on November the 4th. Early polling site is between October 25th and November the 2nd. Why so many days? Why?
And because they want as many people to have the chance to vote as possible.
Uh huh. And also,
Make it a state holiday
yep,
and make it one day. No
make
work
it
that day.
right,
Make it a Saturday. Make it the second Saturday
right,
or the first Saturday of November. And to hell with the bullshit. It's a Saturday. No work that day. No school that day. Tell people they sorry you can't have workers this day. Get them in.
yep.
Except the people of the Jewish community. That is the Sabbath. Whoops.
Well,
Sunday after church. Go vote.
oh, then it'll be
The
the Muslims or somebody's going to bitch. So pick the first Monday and make it a federal holiday. That's when all elections are held. Everything, every single thing, every school board,
every
every
state
spec,
across the US
yes,
turn it
every
into a voting
yep,
day.
every special election, any special ballot that has to come up, everything has to be done that day. Enough of this. This is absolutely ridiculous. And not only that, but a legitimate, whatever it takes for a verification process of somebody, I think, what, 2 weeks before or a month before voting, in order, I don't know how many people, in a smaller town you might not get that many people. I don't know what the numbers are. I'd be curious to know how many people are going in the day before registering to vote. I want to know what those stats look like in New York. How many people went to sign up the day before? And I guarantee you the most of them are fraud. I'm calling it right out right now. Guarantee. Somebody go
Hmm.
take a look at it.
No
Somebody,
one's going to do that anytime soon.
yep. 9 o'clock on the 4th. On what day do we know who the winner is?
It doesn't say.
I mean, so well, there you go. That's what they consider to be their special dates. Uh huh.
Uh huh. So November 4th
at 9
It's the
p.m.
election day. It might take 2 or 3 days for them to count all the
to
votes.
have. Yeah, I mean, overall, we'll know because the what the numbers look like. Because there's not going to be thousands of people just waiting at 9 p.m. to get their vote in for Cuomo. The biggest thing will be who's going to win between Cuomo or Sliwa. I guess will be the
I
race.
really don't think Sliwa has much of a chance,
No, okay,
but the fact he tried is a good thing.
yeah.
Hopefully, it will inspire others to do the same.
Thank you for joining Rex Sisters. Don't forget to like, follow, comment, share, and subscribe.
Yes, we will. So, I'm going to keep my usual. Y'all stay safe, stay sane, stay sober, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.
All right, good night.
Good night.